Joel Griffith, who's a research fellow at the Heritage Foundation here in Washington. He joins us in the studio. Joel, there's quite a lot to unpack. First of all, as we were talking about before we came to that story, you've actually watched probably just about every debate. How do you see this one playing out? And how important are these debates now, given the fact that we saw a really strong performance from Elizabeth Warren in the previous debate, yet her campaign didn't really see a bump in support?
Yeah, these debates are growing in importance because early on, folks like myself, I'm a glutton for punishment. I enjoy watching the back and forth. But now that we're actually working our way through the process, we have Super Tuesday coming up in about a week. People are starting to tune in. This race is really beginning to take shape. So this is important. So tonight is really going to show us a lot. Last week we saw Mayor Bloomberg, his first time on that stage, and he took a pummeling from really everyone on that stage with him. And he appeared a bit flat-footed with some of those attacks. So it's going to be very interesting tonight to see if those dynamics are unchanged, if they're still viewing him as the one to be targeting next to Bernie Sanders. And we'll see if Mayor Bloomberg is on his feet tonight and ready to fully respond.
Right. It's interesting because, you know, Joe Biden seems to have staked a lot of his hopes in South Carolina. But even if he does do well in South Carolina, is that enough to revive what's been a lagging campaign?
It may not be enough. You know, Vice President Biden has underperformed now in Iowa, in New Hampshire, in Nevada. I mean, Senator Sanders just completely demolished the rest of the field in Nevada this last week. So it's not going to be enough to regain that momentum just to win in South Carolina.
So we can presumably see more people going after Bloomberg tonight. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, he's a Democratic frontrunner, so we're likely to see attacks on him. I mean, at this stage, when you look at the field, who do you think is best positioned to take on President Donald Trump in the 2020 election?
Now, that is a great question. I'm not always a good prognosticator, but I think it is very interesting that today Senator Sanders actually rolled out details of his plans for the economy. I read through those this morning and I was absolutely shocked at the list. He proposed $40 trillion in new spending over 10 years. And keep in mind, our federal budget is not even $5 trillion a year. That's a huge number, but this will almost double if his plans go into effect, will almost double the budget. And he actually listed out various ways to pay for it. Now, he listed out a number of taxes, tax hikes across the board, income, corporate taxes, wealth tax, death taxes. I added up those numbers. It does not come close to the price tag. And these are huge tax hikes. What I found most shocking were the tax hikes on the lower middle class. If you are a married couple making about $29,000 per year, your marginal tax rate, your payroll tax and your income tax included, goes to 39%. That's enormous. And that's because of a new payroll tax that goes into effect and also a new income tax to pay for so-called Medicare for all. So we've been saying at the Heritage Foundation for a long time, there is no way to pay for this type of spending just by soaking it to the rich and plundering them. There's no way to do that. You have to go to the middle class and the lower middle class. And this plan hints at that, even though it's still trillions of dollars short.
Well, I'm personally hoping we're going to hear more details about the candidates' ideas for actually tackling the issues. We saw Elizabeth Warren go after a lot of the candidates for their health care plans or lack thereof. So hopefully we'll hear a little bit more about the issues this evening than the actual sort of character assassinations. But it was really great to have you on. Joel Griffith with the Heritage Foundation. Thanks for that.